Here's a pretty song that's easy enough to play. The original has a slightly odd tuning in the guitar with the bottom and top strings tuned down a tone, so that's double drop D. I'm going to leave it in standard tuning and make a little workaround that's going to give us something like the sound of the original though. And then capo on the 5th fret, so we're in the same key as the original. Now, the whole thing revolves around a single 2-bar phrase with 4 chords, and it's like this. We have a G. Now, I'm not going to be playing the top string at all in this song, so if I fret that top string, that's just force of habit. G for 2, and then C for 2. With the second beat of the C, I'm going to lift off my first finger on the 2nd string to play more C major 7, so we get that kind of thing, just so we have that bit of melody on the 2nd string. Then I've got an E minor 7 in the 2nd bar. Simplest thing you can do there is place a finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then there's a D chord that's got a bit of a G in it. And this is where the original tuning comes in handy, because we would have a D in the bass, which I haven't got. So my workaround is going to be this. I'm going to play a C shape, but I'm just going to move that up 2 frets. And then we get this gentle kind of warm clash between the 4th and 3rd strings, where we have an F sharp here and a G. So really I'm playing D, add 4, D with a bit of G in it anyway. And maybe I'm not even going to bother putting my 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. I might leave that off, put an A in the bass. It all comes out in the wash. It's all the same sort of thing. So we get this. G for 2 and C, C major 7, E minor 7, and then that kind of a thing, or that kind of a thing. I haven't thought too carefully about how I'm picking this, but really I want to aim to have the root of the chord as the chord begins, and then my melody note as and when I need them, and then I'm just going to fill in with the lower strings. I could tab it out, but I reckon it would be different every time I played it. That kind of a thing. And in the 1st and 2nd verses we get 3 of those. Underneath the stars I'll meet you. Underneath the stars I'll greet you. There beneath the stars I'll leave you. And then we get a bar of C before you go of your 2 beats on this D construction I've got here. On free, and then we're back. So before you go of your own free will, and then we're back into our original sequence. In fact, as we come out of that little 2-beat bar of D add G, she seems to wait an age before she comes in. So there's kind of a pause, but really that bar is truncated to 2 beats. So from the top of the verse, underneath the stars I'll meet you. Underneath the stars I'll greet you. There beneath the stars I'll leave you before you go of your own free will. I think the 2nd verse does the same thing, and I think the 3rd and 4th verses there's an extra 2 bars of our familiar sequence before we get into the go gently. That's pretty much all there is. Just a thing you could try, because we haven't got a drop D, so the lowest string isn't tuned to a D. Our lowest D is here on the 4th string, and that just kind of limits the range. With the capo up on the 5th fret, it doesn't feel very bassy, so we can integrate a bass note into that D with this. If I play these 2, so I've got a finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. You don't have to use these fingers, you could use 2nd and 3rd fingers. And then a finger on the 2nd fret of the bottom string. That's going to give me a D over F sharp. And if I lift that finger actually on the 3rd string, maybe I don't need that. There we go, a D over F sharp with a G, that's the open 3rd string added. Now the nice thing about that is it comes right after the E minor 7. So I get E minor 7 with an E in the bass, then I get my D chord with an F sharp in the bass, and I'm onto my G. So it would be that seems to follow the melody too. We get this nice walk up. And in fact, final touch here, you could keep that little finger on for the G chord and also for the E minor 7 as well as that D. So you'd have underneath the stars I'll meet you, underneath the stars I'll greet you.